Hey everyone, Joshua Kirk here with you once again, and now it's time for the next video in this series of revised best of lists for albums in a given year. As you can see from the title, this is about my top 50 albums of 2019. If you've watched the last few videos, you should know the drill by now. I'm going to go through the bottom half quickly, and then I will have more to say as we get into the top half of my list. Without further ado, let's get into it. 50, Sunn, Pyroclasts. 49, the self-titled album from Michael Kiwanuka, Kiwanuka. 48, great country album from Emily Scott Robinson, Traveling Mercies, and then another album in that vein at 47, Caroline Spence, Mint Condition. 46, the deeply harrowing Lingua Ignota album, Caligula. 45, the Felice Brothers with Undress. 44, the experimental mixtape from Slauson Malone 1. A Quiet Farwell, 2016 to 2018, parentheses, Crater Speak. 43, Charli XCX with Charli. 42, great singer-songwriter album from Sharon Van Etten, Remind Me Tomorrow. 41, the much acclaimed album from Weyes Blood, Titanic Rising. And then rounding out the 40s, the mixtape from Blood Orange, Angel's Pulse. 39, really creative project from Anna Meredith, FIBS. 38, interesting metal project from Liturgy, H.A.Q.Q. 37, The National gets conceptual on I Am Easy to Find. And then the witty and fun Homeboy Sandman album, Dusty, at 36. 35, really good pop album from Ariana Grande, Thank You Next. 34, the beautifully haunting Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds album, Ghosteen. 33, a really out there singer-songwriter record from Richard Dawson, 2020. 32, Aesop Rock and Tobacco team up for an interesting and kind of fuzzed out collaboration under the name Malibu Ken. 31, another unsettling record, this time from Shushu, Girl with Basket of Fruit, and then rounding out the 30s, the eccentric debut of Dorian Electra, Flamboyant. 29, the fantastic one and only Purple Mountains album, self-titled. 28, a really great kind of country supergroup project that is the self-titled Highwomen album. 27, a ridiculously creative electronic album from Matmos, Plastic Anniversary, and then rounding out the bottom half at 26, the return of Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, aka Mad Gibbs, Bandana. We're at the top half, kicking off at 25 with James Blake, Assume Form, a really good mix of kind of older James Blake with some different sounds and a handful of cool features as well. And yeah, just a really well put together album from him. 24, Brockhampton with Ginger, a kind of emotional project from the boy band with a solid production and songwriting and really good performances from the members on it. 23, Alex G with House of Sugar. This record really shows him to be one of a kind in the indie singer-songwriter field with the really interesting song structures and beautiful sounds. And yeah, it's a really good release. 22, it is the really weird sophomore album from Tropical Fuckstorm, Braindrops. It really out odds their debut in a lot of ways from the production and storytelling. And yeah, it's definitely a very unique experience of an album. 21, it is the debut from Yola, Walk Through Fire. Just a powerful mix of country and soul with really good production and vocal performances that give me chills to this day. And yeah, definitely one hell of a first impression into her work. Rounding out the 20s, it is The Comet is Coming. Trust in the life force of the deep mystery. Holy shit, this album. Quite an experience with its fusions of jazz, prog, and electronics. And yeah, it definitely is an album that I highly recommend checking out for yourself. And yeah, it's quite a ride. 19, it is Big Thief with Two Hands. Really, in my opinion, the superior album out of the two that they came out with in 19. Really engaging lyrics and vocals from Adrian. Really like the stripped back approach, and it does also happen to have their magnum opus song with Not. 18, it is Clipping. There existed an addiction to blood. The first of two horrorcore records that the trio came out with, and yeah, there's just a lot of very genius ideas all over this record. For example, there's the one track where you can hear the beats playing from passing cars. That's really cool. And yeah, this record is definitely not for the faint of heart, but very well put together and fantastic. 17, it is Bon Iver with I. Great culmination for Justin Vernon as one of the defining indie artists of our time. Really a good mix of kind of stripped back sad boy folk with kind of the more experimental flourishes. And yeah, dare I say it, it may have some of his best songs to date. 16, Quelle Chris with Guns. First off, a lot of the lyrics and messaging on this record are sadly still pretty pathetic in 2026, but it also just has just some really out there experimental production and really great personality. And yeah, it's just this really well put together, thought provoking, abstract hip hop album. 15, Michaela Ann with Desert Dove. She really is one of my favorite artists in underground country music right now between her beautiful voice and her approach to storytelling. The mix of influences is also very unique as well. And yeah, it's just a wonderful album. 14, Billy Woods and Kenny Siegel with Hiding Places. Yeah, this album is just a dark, abstract hip hop album that kind of gets under your skin. And I would argue that it's become more pathetic since COVID, all the way down to its album cover that paints a pretty vivid image of this album's vibe. And yeah, I highly recommend it. 13, it is Wiki with Oofy. I got into Wiki with this album and I really dig it a lot. It's an interesting mix of being a little more mainstream sounding release from him, but still having some interesting beat choices, and the lyrics are introspective and from the heart, and there's plenty of personality. And yeah, definitely one of the more underrated rap albums of 2019. Number 12, it is JPEG Mafia. All My Heroes Are Cornballs. This record's a great mix of JPEG getting into poppier territory, but further experimenting with weird beats and sounds. And yeah, his rapping and storytelling are just fantastic. And yeah, it's been really great to see his evolution since then. And at number 11, another great experimental hip hop album, the self-titled Injury Reserve album, where both Richie and the late Groggs kill it with their verses. Parker puts together some of the craziest beats and some really good features. And yeah, this record is just all over the place and fun. And yeah, has a lot of just bangers on it. Now we're here, ladies and gentlemen. My top 10 albums of 2019. Number 10, it is Alex Cameron with Miami Memory. I got into Alex with this album, and I'm glad to have done so because, yeah, his approach to songwriting is just very unique, and yeah, the topics that he covers are definitely very interesting. Yeah, really love his voice and yeah, sonically, there's a lot of great sounds on here. And yeah, it's just one of a kind, and yeah, it manages to have an old school vibe, but still feel contemporary. Number 9, it is the mixtape from Flume. Hi, this is Flume. He really outdid himself on this project, basically going full on experimental. And this project just uh, goes all over the place, bounces from one sound and vibe to the next, but still feels very seamless. And yeah, just the beats that he puts together on this project are just crazy in the best way. Number 8, it is Little Sims with Gray Area, really proving her to be one of the better rappers out of the UK. Her flows are absolutely insane, and her lyrical content is really strong and introspective. Really love the raw, stripped back sound, and yeah, it's just maybe not the most revolutionary rap album you're going to hear, but yeah, just a lot of personality, emotion, and a handful of really solid features too. Number 7, it is noise rock duo Lightning Bolt with Sonic Citadel. Here they go into more immediate and hookier territory, and the album is still just chaotic and in your face with the just face melting walls of sound that they create. And yeah, there's enough of a brightness to it that yeah, gives it just some life and character, and yeah, this record's awesome. Number 6 is by far the most widely acclaimed album of 2019 across the board, Lana Del Rey with Norman fucking Rockwell. Yeah, like many people, I am a fan of this album. Just in my opinion, some of the best written ballads of recent memory. And yeah, Lana's vocals are great. Jack Antonoff's sound palette, I think, is the perfect backdrop for her approach. And yeah, it's a sprawling record that somehow stays engaging throughout its hefty runtime. And yeah, it's no wonder that even the haters can look at this album and yeah, acknowledge that this is some of her best songs thus far. And yeah, it definitely deserves all of its hype for sure. Number 5, it is Mannequin Pussy with Patience. I got into Mannequin Pussy with this album, and I've become increasingly a fan since then. And yeah, this is where they kind of dove into cleaner territory with elements of pop punk and shoegaze and yeah, more melodic indie rock, but still maintaining their edge and personality. Missy just kills it with her performances and lyrics. Drunk 2 is still their magnum opus song. And yeah, this album kicks ass. Number 4, it is the weird and wild debut that really had everyone talking in 2019. 100 gecs, 1000 gecs. When this project came out, it really seemed like nobody really knew what to make of it. But by the end of the year, it was really high on many lists. And yeah, for good reason, because the duo puts together these mixes of sounds that, yeah, you would not think would work well at all, and yet they do. And yeah, songwriting and hooks are fantastic, and I'm glad that they have matured and evolved since this record. And yeah, this album and just 100 Gecs in general are really dope. Number 3 is the hip hop album that very much defied convention in 19. Tyler the Creator with Igor. Flower Boy was the introduction into this current phase of Tyler's career. And then with this album, he really just outdid himself with the production and songwriting. Really love how he puts himself into a character's shoes on this record. And yeah, just creates really just one of the better breakup albums of the last 10 years. And yeah, even though Flower Boy is still my favorite of his, this is probably my most replayed Tyler album. So there you go. Igor rules. Number 2 is very much a modern pop punk classic in my book. Pup's morbid stuff. They really just honed in on what they do best on this album. The storytelling is just a one of a kind, really good energy and production on the project. Strong vocals, and yeah, hooks are incredible. I really love some of the different genres that they experiment with, providing just enough diversity to the table. And yeah, this is very much the album where whether you're a Pup fan or not, you really can't deny that this is objectively their best album on all fronts. I'll admit their trajectory since then has been a little messy, but at the end of the day, I still love this record, and yeah, it's definitely one of the better just emo and pop punk albums of the last 10 years. But number 1 is an album that I would think is a modern classic for dream pop and kind of soft strains of indie pop. And yeah, it's an album that I was really excited for hearing its singles. And yeah, hearing it as a whole, it really just exceeded my hype. That is Jason with H.A.Q.Q. Melina really, at this point, is one of the most influential figures for modern indie music, and this album definitely proves as much with the beautiful production, interesting song structures, and yeah, even her soft vocals really have a lot of personality. Lyrics are very well written, and it's a kind of dense sounding album for it to be just this tight 9 track, 34-minute album. And yeah, it always stays engaging, and Yeah, with some of the projects that she's been involved in since then, she's really left quite a mark for this kind of music in recent memory. And with her having recently returned to making her own music. Yeah, she's still killing it, and this album I think still stands out as her magnum opus. And yeah, like I said, an album that's pretty much turned into a classic for indie pop in this critic's book. There you have it. Those are my top 50 albums of 2019, at least as of right now. Hope you all enjoyed this video and got some good old and new insights into the music of 2019. Stay tuned for the next video in this series where I'm going to be talking about my favorite albums of 2020. This is Joshua Kirk signing off.